Hey everyone, welcome back to Mitch and the Kitch. Today we're making Mexican corn. First up, we're going to take the corn and we're going to get it in our little griddle pan here. Very easily could do this outside on the grill. You could do it in the oven if you wanted. I'm just going to use the griddle pan and get a little bit of avocado spray in here, and the corn goes in. So we're probably looking at 3 to 4 minutes per side, depending on how hot it is. We're going to go for that nice char on the outside. That's going to give us a really good contrast and flavor. That's the sugars caramelizing on the outside of the corn. We have our homemade mayo here. We get a little bit of it in the bowl. So that's probably maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons. We're gonna go with chili powder. I've never measured it before. Typically I just dump, but in order to get you guys the recipe, I'm gonna go ahead and measure it to see exactly what we're going for. We're gonna go ahead and start with a tablespoon here first. Go ahead and give that a mix. I'd say maybe 3 tablespoons of mayo to 1 tablespoon of chili powder. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give these guys a little turn here. I'd say this probably takes 15 to 20 minutes total. If we're doing it on a grill outside, it's going to depend on how hot you're running that thing. We are going for a nice char. Our mayo's done. We're going to talk about cheese. Cotija is the traditional cheese you would use for this. So I wasn't able to find Cotija. What we're going to do instead is we're going to use part feta and part queso fresco. So we got the feta here. That's going to provide that nice edge to it that we're missing from the Cotija. If you just use queso fresco, it's way too mild to get that salty tang. And then I'm going to go pretty fine here because we are going to sprinkle it onto the corn after, and so it's going to stick to that mayo. And this is the fun part, so you get to kind of work out some aggression. If you have kids, you can invite them into the kitchen, have them break up the cheese. Alright, so we got a nice crumble on the feta. We're going to go for some queso fresco. I'm probably going to start with maybe not quite 50-50, a little bit heavier on the feta because the queso fresco is mild. We're using that to kind of mild out the feta a little bit, but I do want that nice salty feta flavor. Alright, so our corn is cooking away here. Now we're going to talk about cilantro. This is personal preference. If you like cilantro, use it. If you don't like it, don't use it. Alright, so our corn is done cooking. It's got some really good color on that, nice and charred. So we're going to get a brush, get that in there, and just paint that all over. So the corn is a little bit hot coming off right there. So it's going to melt the mayo a little bit, get it down into those cracks, get that chili flavor all over. At this point, you can add as much or as little as you want, obviously, totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and get that cheese on next. This is going to give us a nice salty, tangy bite. And a little bit of cilantro. As I said, I love the cilantro. I think it gives it a nice finishing flavor there. And there you have it, a nice, beautiful piece of Mexican-style corn. Go ahead, give this a bite. It's probably going to get a little bit messy, but hey, it's going to be delicious. First thing I'm tasting is the chili, actually. Really good, nice and even. Taste that saltiness of the feta. On the back end, the cilantro is kind of lasting with me the longest. And that's how I do it, Mexican style corn. Hope you give it a try. If you do, let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any other dishes you'd like me to try out, let me know. Thanks for tuning in.